Hello friends of Paul's Outdoor Academy. In today's episode I'm going to do the 2-year review of my Triton 18tx. It's a 2019 model, and you may recall that I did a 1-year review, so today I'm going to do the 2-year review and talk about whether or not I'm still happy with this boat and the trailer. If you have not seen the 1-year review, I would recommend you go watch that first, because some of what I'm going to talk about in this came directly from the 1-year review. And I'm going to do sort of a follow-up on some of those things. So stay tuned with me, and I hope you enjoy this review. So welcome back. So you may recall that I created a list for the first review that I did, and I kind of just worked through this list. And I started off with dislikes because I wanted to quickly get that out of the way and go to likes about the boat. I'm still very happy with this boat. I would still recommend this boat to anyone. I don't even think you can get 2019 models, but if you're buying it as a used boat, I've been very happy with this one. So I'm going to try to kind of pick up this review right where the other one left off. You may recall from the first video that one of the first things that I talked about was this bar that is on the boat, the support bar at the front of the boat, and how loose it was. I never did get this welded. It is still loose as can be. This bolt is as tight as I can possibly get it, and this is still loose. I just simply need to get it welded. I have not followed through on that. I've had way too much fun fishing to do that. But from all the moving around, I do see a little bit of rust starting to form here and there where this thing actually moves. So whenever I do get this fixed, I'll probably take this off first and do a little paint work here. And I'll talk about the paint work in just a minute. The next thing I want to talk about as far as the trailer goes is that I am starting to see a little bit of paint chipping here and there. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. It might be hard for you to see this, but there's paint chipping from about here down to here, just completely chipped and came off the boat. If you come back to other parts of the trailer, like right in here, you can see the paint's kind of chipping away. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of rust underneath this. This is not the end of the world. Every trailer is gonna rust. You stick it in a lake full of water, and you probably don't come home and always dry off the trailer instantly, so you're gonna get some rust. I'll try to show you a couple of other spots on the fender. So here's an example of a little paint chip. Here's another one here, another one here. Do you see a bit of rust? These can be repaired, and that's the next thing that I want to talk to you about. Here's another one right here, you know, where rocks have flung up and hit this or what, I don't know. There's a little bit of rust there. These things can be repaired, and I'm going to tell you what I found out. I accidentally dropped the trailer off on the side of the ramp, and I damaged the fender pretty bad. I caved in this fender right here pretty bad, and I repaired this myself. And so to match the paint the best I could to the factory paint, you might be able to see a difference here where I stopped painting and this is black, and this is kind of dirty, but if I polish it, they actually they would match a whole lot better than that. But what you need to know about this paint is that it is available. You can buy this in a one-stage paint, which means you don't have to shoot a base coat and a clear coat. I was trying to do that at first, and I could not find a black paint that I liked and thought I matched. Excuse me, I could not find a paint that matched the original paint. So I actually contacted the maker of this trailer, which is Marine Master Trailers, and they're in Tullahoma, Tennessee. And I asked them if they could tell me a paint code, and they said, we can do you one better than that. We can send you pre-mixed paint in a can that you can use to shoot these areas over and to cover the spots and to cover the rust and whatever you want to do, any kind of repairs. And so that's exactly what I did. Now the paint is by a company called Exalta, and that specific paint is Nason, and you actually can get that from O'Reilly's if I'm not mistaken. Or you can call Marine Master Trailer directly in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and get the paint from them. Like I said, I bought it in a can that was pre-mixed, ready to shoot, and it was a single stage paint. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is this, the seat. If you did watch the first video, you will recall that I had an issue with this seat. The seat was ripped here, and the seat was ripped here. I just got that seat replaced 3 weeks ago. This is mid-October. So here's the problem that I'm actually having is I can already see one place here that I think this stitch is going to rip through this fabric. So there's something about the way they're doing this. It is stitched too tightly because I do not abuse this boat. I do not kick the seats, stand on the seats, step on the seats or anything. So if I'm already seeing a stitch poking through in 4 weeks, I have a feeling it's going to rip again. After 2 years, these seats are holding up really well. As you can see, everything looks good. The seats are still together. These little caps have come off. That's not a big deal. I found that you can even buy these online for next to nothing. But the seats look great. The passenger seat looks perfect. Instrumentation all seems to be working. The carpet is doing really well on the boat. I'm very happy with that. No issues here. No issues with the live well. The only issue that I'm having with the electronics is occasionally the trim gauge shows full up when I'm running down the lake, and then it will bounce back down. I may have to get that looked at. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I don't consider that to be a big deal. Speedometer works until you run over a piece of wood in the lake and shove it up in the little hole. I'll just show you very quickly that on the bottom of the foot of your motor, there's a little hole right here. And that's the first thing you should check when your speedometer is not working. You can see there's something sticking in that hole right there on mine. I need to go ahead and get this. I put a small drill bit in there and drilled this hole very carefully and get the wood out of it. You know when you're there because on mine, if I put something in here and get the wood out of it, water starts shooting out that is holding up in there. So I really need to get this cleared out. I just recently ran over something that has caused that. But that's no problem. Now, again, in that first review that I did, you may recall, I could not get the plug in the back of this boat to save my life. I want to show you, after all this time, I have finally mastered this. And I want to show you what I did, and maybe this would work for you if you had the issue that I did. On this plug, there are threads. The threads end right there. And you see these 2 screws on either side of this plug. If you'll take where the thread ends and line it up with this screw like that, right there, put it in here and tilt it down and just set it in there like that, every time it works. Every single time. Somebody suggested that I look at that and I didn't understand what they meant. I figured it out by accident. Put this in, there's the thread, there's the screw, set this in here, set it like this, rotate it up every time. I can get this now in seconds, where it used to take me sometimes 2, 3, 5 minutes. But so that is taken care of. One of the main concerns that has developed for me on this boat, and it's going to be very hard for you to see this in a camera, but the wheels on this boat, you actually can see it in this video. That's how bad it is. The wheels in this boat sit at an angle. Instead of straight up and down, this wheel, if you put a level on it, goes in 1 inch from the bottom to the top. If you put a level on there on level ground, you will see that it touches the bottom, and by the time you get to the top, there's 1 inch of a gap. It is not the bearings. I have talked to many people about this, and they all say, it's your bearings, your bearings are shot. It is not the bearings, I can tell you. You can pick that tire up, you can hoist this trailer up off the ground. You can wiggle that tire all day. It is solid as a rock. There is no noise. There is zero movement. The specs say something about if it moves more than 1/8 of an inch. Well, it doesn't move more than 1/8 of an inch. It is solid. So I don't know what is causing that to stick out like that. It does it a little bit on the left side of the trailer. It does it a lot on the right side of the trailer. But what I have found out, the max trailer weight for this trailer is 2,500 pounds. I was under the impression that this was a 3,500 pound axle on this trailer. It is not. It's a 2,500 pound axle. I was really surprised when I learned that. The good news is they sell an upgraded axle kit for around $400, which I don't think is bad. That is a direct fit for this trailer and a direct swap with what I already have. It's the same lug pattern, the same spindle, same leaf springs, and all that stuff. The shackles that hold the leaf springs, everything's the same. So I am almost certainly going to be doing that upgrade in my near future. And in fact, for $800, I could get a single axle with brakes on it. But I'm not going to go that route. I don't think that's necessary. I pull it with a large truck, and the brakes don't seem to be an issue for me. So I'm going to take care of that issue by upgrading and going to a larger heavy-duty axle. I think it is still what they call a 2,500 pound axle, but they consider it to be heavy-duty. I don't know what that means. We'll find out. So what's next? Let's talk about some good things. I think the carpet is in terrific condition. I'm very happy about that. After 2 years, it still looks like it did when it was new. The motor is the next thing on my list. The motor is running incredibly well, very, very well. Very happy with that. I'm doing all the routine maintenance. I take it to the dealership and let them do the oil and check the impeller. The boat has held up really well. Live well still working perfect. Storage bins all intact, look great. Motor running like an absolute champ. A lot of people are telling me they're getting 52 miles an hour out of this boat, and I don't know how you're doing it, because a lot of them said they're running the same prop I am. This is a Tempest Plus 21 pitch and wide open throttle with every adjustment and every trim that I can get in the boat. With just me in it, I can't get more than 46 miles an hour, and that's measured GPS. I'm not using the miles per hour on the boat. It does show me going 50 miles an hour, but I'm not. The GPS clearly says you're going like 46. So that's all I can get out of the boat after 2 years. Very happy with that. Very happy with the fuel use. This boat sips the fuel. I'm very happy about that. So I have done 0 repairs to it, and I think that's important to know if you're considering buying one of these Triton boats, is that I haven't had to do anything to it, and so I would expect the same for you. The aluminum is holding up very well, and it's dirty. It's actually, I'm kind of embarrassed because it's so dirty. But the aluminum's holding up really well. It's dirty. I see stuff on here. I probably should wash this really well and maybe put some kind of wax on it and treat it, make sure it's taken care of. The aluminum is in really good condition. I've had no issues with that. I have no dents or dings. Again, maybe that's just because I'm lucky and I haven't hit something like a rock out in the middle of the channel. But I have hit several logs, small sticks, branches, pieces of floating debris, and I have no issues at all with the aluminum. It's not leaking anywhere. It's held up really, really well. So I'm very happy with that as well. So the question is, would I buy this again? The answer is absolutely. I would buy it again. If the question is, would you recommend this to somebody as their first boat? I absolutely would. So to wrap this video up, 2 years into owning this boat, I'm very happy. I'm probably going to have to upgrade the axle on the trailer so that I can feel good about it. So that's going to wrap up this 2-year review. I hope you liked it. I hope I covered everything that you needed to know. The main takeaways are, number 1, would I buy it again? Absolutely. Number 2, would I recommend this boat, a 2019 Triton 18tx? It's aluminum. Would I recommend this to anybody? Absolutely. If you're in the used boat market, I've been very happy with this. No issues. That's another takeaway. Only major concern now is the wheel on the axle. So those are the primary things to take away from this video. If you have other questions, please let me know. Put those down below, what specific questions that you have, and let me see if I can answer those for you. Again, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that whenever I send a new video up into the YouTube world, you'll get it. Thank you for joining this video. God bless. Good luck out on the water. Bye-bye. I cannot see you because I am blind. I'm going blind looking at the sun. I just swallowed a bug. Some kind of bug just flew in my mouth.